And welcome to Out of Order Show presents the Storyteller Section. I'm your storyteller extraordinaire, Michael, and let's get started. If you are watching live, thank you. Sorry that we did not do the regular show today. I guess people stayed up too late and party too hard, as they say. Party on, dude! Anyways, yeah, so, a lot of my players, two of them actually, not just one, two of them, got sick and or is trying to fight a hangover. So I decided, since I screwed up twice, this week, not doing the storyteller section, that I would do one today in light of there not being a game this week. So, let's start off by saying thank you, and let's get started. So, how we do this is we talk about the NPC that we're going to be discussing, and we're going to be discussing two of them actually. And it has a lot to do with like the current antagonist group that has been harassing slash kind of making a mess of the city of Bakersfield, and that is the Sabbat. Well, wait, Michael, aren't you running a Sabbat game? Aren't your players a Sabbat? Well, these Sabbat, these are not your typical Sabbat. They are Sabbat, they believe in the Sabbat, but they follow a different path, and that path is not to the glory of Cain, even though they acknowledge Cain. Cain is, if not the patriarch of Cainites, but they follow another force, another power, and it's a power that I am very, very, very connected to. Every time I have an opportunity to play them, I try. And you're basically, in the grand scope of things, you are basically writing a death sentence for your character in any game if you try to follow this bitch, and that bitch is Lilith. Now, Lilith has a very special place in my heart because, she wasn't talked about a lot when I was growing up playing Vampire. Liliths were kind of like this offshoot. Nobody gave a shit. Nobody wanted to talk about them, and I was like, you know what? I'm curious to know. And this was like when in my deep curiosity back when I was trying to figure out like what my favorite clan was, what my favorite sect was, what sort of lore do I want to jump into, and the Bahari / Liliths are prime for me because it opens up. It was like I was reading the cheat code to the World of Darkness before they basically, in the Gehenna book, kind of said like, oh, this is like the one possible adventure where like everything is tied to Lilith, and like why Cain is the way he is, and why Lucifer is the way he is, and Salad, and all the ancient evils, basically duking it out because of, they've been duking it out since the dawn of creation. So when I discovered that, I was like, oh my god, Lilith is like on a whole nother level. And she fostered 3 clans that are also pretty fucking cool. So, hey, what's up, Smitty? Doing alright, just doing the storyteller section. My supposed to be weekly show. I've definitely been slacking off on that. But if you guys don't know, I did a huge update to the Patreon. Go to patreon.com/outofordershow. I've uploaded every post-show wrap-up up to episode 13. I'm currently encoding right now episode 14 and 15 as we speak. So everything is going to be up to date and going to be ready for you guys who have been supporting the Patreon. Thank you so much for those who have been supporting since May. I haven't uploaded anything since May, and I was killing myself thinking about oh god, you guys have been spending money on each month, and I haven't put out anything, but now I've made it up. Oh, yeah. We could talk about that later, Schmitty, but yeah, it's pretty cool. I love Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. It's amazing. But, not to get distracted by that, I want to focus on the roleplay. This is the roleplay show. So Lilins have always had an awesome place in my heart, because, like I said, they always are treated as oddities, especially since you're like, oh, I'm a vampire, but I worship the bitch that kind of raised Cain. And so, and I don't like to use that word, the bitch thing, but it's just kind of what it is. So the only, like, the one piece of memorabilia that I grew up regretting not getting is Revelations of the Dark Mother, which, if you see, why is it not showing? Oh, because I don't have it. Like, Revelations of the Dark Mother, such a great book. I wish I could own the physical copy of it, but, like, I tried, like, looking up on eBay, seeing how much it goes, the Midnight Garden. Like, this is just a great, The Rite of Cain, Lemons for Lucifer, like, Book of the Dragon. I own, like, the new WAD Book of the Dragon book. Like, oh, just so many great things that came. All these short stories, a little bit of, like, stuff. Yeah, even the children of Cain fear her, Lilith, mother of the damned. She is the Dark Queen, who will arise and usher in the end of the world, explore the heretical, ignorant legends of Lilith, and learn of the hidden Lilin cult that have existed down through the ages. Discover a new telling of the vampire creation myth, and guess at what is yet to come in the night. So good. Such a good... he's pretty much a friend, but, we haven't talked to each other in quite a while. He owned the book, and I was like, oh my God, how much could I buy that off you? Like, let me have this book. I have the Book of Nod. I have the rights. I have every piece of, like, recorded, like, material that is, like, part of the meta, except for Revelations of the Dark Mother. Ugh. So, what does this all mean? Why does this relate to Cornelius and Divina? Well, they are Lilins, but they weren't always Lilins. Well, actually, that's not true. Let's talk about Cornelius. Cornelius is the first person we're going to talk to. Cornelius he's not a wild card. He's always been, like... He's a mercenary. He's always been a mercenary. Cornelius is a British South African mercenary who has basically was embraced during his stint in the Bahamas, and that's how he became what he is. So if you haven't put two and two together yet, what clan he is, based on his interaction with the crew, well, now's the time. Now's the time that I'm going to tell you. Why is it going? What? Can I just reset this, please? God damn it! Nothing's perfect. I need perfect. All right. So Cornelius. By the way, I also want to say regretfully, thanks to YouTube, I had put out 2 more episodes of the Storyteller Section to upload on YouTube, but because of the bullshit that is YouTube's copyright policy, whatever, it was basically banned everywhere. It was just basically banned outside the United States. It was, like, copyrighted to flag because I can't. Apparently, even if I put it at very, very low volume, Johnny Cash and Kendrick Lamar will just get your video flagged for just obscenity. Like, it said, like, a big yellow, like, banned everywhere. So I was like, God, really? Like, I had it, like, just as background music. I even looked at the video and I was like, you can't even hear it. You can't even hear the music anymore. But if you're watching live, that's why I'm not playing music in the background. It's so sad, too, because I feel like I like to play something that kind of relates to the characters. Like, I feel like, if you haven't noticed, all of the titles for each of the episodes is a song title. So if we look back on like last week's episode of Starry XP Presents The Masquerade Sabbat Side, right? Last week's episode was called Pyramids and Triangles, which is a Deftones song, and I like it. I mean, and that was like inspired by Breaking Bad, because all that stuff, like, it's so cool. It's just kind of like a cool way to kind of change up the game, kind of change up, like, welcome to Starry XP Vampire Masquerade session week of blah 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 blah. Like, I like the idea that there's like, it's like an album. It's kind of like a mixtape of like different themes and different like moods, and so like I wanted to have a music sort of like background playing so that you kind of get into the mood and the mindset of these characters and the songs that played to them. And so that's why I started off right now with Run the Jewel, because these two are definitely rebels in their mind. Which we need to go to the rule book. I gotta open up the rule book. Bloodlines, character creations. Nope, not that. Becoming. All right, so we're gonna go nature demeanor. So Cornelius's demeanor is he is like a faith-driven person. Like, he believes in inspiring, because as a mortal, he would hunt down and destroy anybody who got in his way. He was, he saw himself as a proud member of the British Army, of the British Empire. He went to exotic foreign places to basically restore order and discipline for king and country and Her Majesty, whoever was at the time, who's ever in charge at the time, which I don't really know. I am a historian, but I don't really specialize in like colonial era Britain history. So if you want to leave a comment down below on YouTube, go ahead, let me know who was in charge during like the mid 1700s. That would be nice, because that's where Cornelius basically gets embraced and then kind of gets roped into what leads into the Sabbat and what leads into the new world, as it were. So, but his demeanor is penance. Nope. Perfectionist. Nope. Where is the traditionalist? Nope. Visionary. He's definitely visionary. And he sees himself as a messenger of Lilith, because everything that he has adopted, all the pain and suffering that he had gone through as a mortal, basically he has been freed of that responsibility, and he has embraced a new form of pain, a pain that he can, adopt and reflect and learn and grow. Like, scars to him are not like bad, they're the reminders of like personal growth. And that's like the whole tenets of being a Lilin, is like you have to learn through pain, you have to learn through, and it's just not like self-flagellation. It's like you have to push yourself in ways that doesn't necessarily even define you. It's not about like finding your boundaries. It's about exceeding your boundaries and like trying to hone your being and widening your tolerance, so that anything that comes at you in life or in unlife, you are ready for. You're prepared. You're the ultimate, being, the pinnacle. Lilith, in one of the dark passages, I'll even read the first passage, when she stood up to God. She basically was like, hey, look, hey, God, like, I don't really, Lilith did, let's see, Lilith as Jehovah's consort. Once Lilith was bore away from Adam, Jehovah was wroth. How dost thou know the hidden name of him who created thee? His voice was thunder, lightning crackling in the sky. Winds tore at Lilith's hair and bathed her skin in ice. She was afraid, but did not cry out. Instead, she spoke unto him, unto the thunder and lightning and wind, and her fear, as was wisdom and comfort against the storm. Lilith said, I have done that thou doesn't require. I tend the fruit of the garden and the beasts of the forest. When they propose, I did nourish them. When they fell, I lay them to rest. The fruit which I have eaten are those which fell by thine own hand. I took them as a gift of love from thy bounty, that I might join thee in heaven. So said, he raised flowers at her own, flowers that had not been created by the hand of Jehovah, nor tended by the hand of Lilith. New, she created them from the ferment of heaven and offered them to him. And at last the storm quiet, and Jehovah was stilled. He took her there in heaven, and he knew her as a mate. For 7 days and 7 nights she sat upon his lap, and he sat within hers. Ooh, sex with a god. And then their coupling was like unto the storm, and both of them were satisfied. And love grew between Jehovah and Lilith like the fruit of the tree of life. But he could not bear to share his power and knowledge. Lilith said, we are now as one should be, equals above all others. Hearing this, Jehovah became jealous, as had his creation Adam. And so it came to pass that Jehovah banished Lilith from his sight. And as he was banished, that lady who came before her, after 7 days and 7 nights, Lilith was cast down from heaven unto the dust. Between the garden was she cast. Jehovah declared, midst thou wander in the unnamed lands for all time. So saying, he vanished, leaving Lilith alone. So, basically, she stood up to God and was like, hey, look, I'm doing all this shit for you. Like, I ate the fruit of knowledge, and I'm basically the fucking first mage. Hint, hint, she was the first mage. She ascended, basically. She basically just found universal truth and was like, hey, God, like, come on, man, let me in. And, God was, like, young and dumb, like all gods, like all new gods. He's like, you know what? Yeah, totally, let's do this. And that's when shit hit the fan for her. But besides all that, that's why Cornelius is the way he is, because the teachings, the defiance, the rebellion, like Lilith is the first bad bitch of the world, stood up to God, had the power of God, essentially, and was trying to, she was only doing what she was told, but in that defiance, in her, not just innocence, it was like pure wisdom. Like, she knew the truth, and the truth was that God wasn't all that omnipotent, at least according to her. But maybe that's because it's a new god. Sometimes new gods, you got to break in the godhood a little bit. Anyways, let's go back to the visionary. So his demeanor, or his nature, though, nature is a whole different thing. Like, he's very, obedient. He's a submissive. Like, that's why he went around all those years as a human, doing all these atrocities in the name of king and country, or queen or country, depending on, like I said, comment down below if I'm wrong or right. But, but he still believed, so he's a believer. So he's definitely a fanatic at heart. Like, he will just take in whatever bullshit that is given to him, and he will just run with it. And I'm a little fanatical, but my nature is definitely not fanatic. So this guy, he's a little bit outside the normal parameters I feel comfortable playing, but he's just an NPC, so I don't feel like I'm heavily invested in this guy. Oh, so the clan, like I said, his clan, bit of, I've never actually truly experienced this clan. I've only interacted with some players and played this clan, and I feel like this clan has the potential to be like one of the best clans, but I don't know. It's not like my cup of tea. And that is the Sameti. Sameti are, in retrospect, they're basically a Giovanni experiment gone wrong. They're from like the Caribbean islands. They are connected to the Giovannis, but they're kind of tied to the Cappadocians a little bit more. They're just kind of like in their own little like subsection of fucked up bloodlines. They have grotesque features. They basically are like Nosferatu. A lot of them believe. If you're not in the know, they have appearance 0 for a reason. And sometimes they're like, oh, we should probably associate them with the Nosferatu, more so than Giovanni Harbingers or Cappadocians, whatever you want to say. So a lot of people think that they're like the offshoot of that, but they're not. Generation 10th generation. Why? Because I feel like 10 is a good number. 10 is a good number. They don't have they're not old. Sameti, a relatively young line. No Sameti older than 250 years is known to exist. Most of the older ones hail from the Caribbean islands or southern United States. Neonate Sameti don't always share the connection of Voldun, but always close to death, one way or another, before the embrace. So he was basically. So let's take the calculator real quick. Let's take a calculator. Let's see. So 2017 minus 250. So the oldest he could be is 1767, which I say it's like the mid 1600s, right? That's what I said. The mid 1700s is when this whole thing takes place. Yeah. So basically, he was like one of the first Sameti to be embraced out of the South Caribbean, and like. Let's see, British colonies. Looking up some stuff on Google real quick. I like to kind of be factual. Let's see, 1700s. Oh man, yeah. So we got like the whole map. Massachusetts colonies, 1690 through there. Oh, that's not a good picture. British Empire. 1700s. European colonies under British rule. Oh, I don't want to open up another PDF. This is a PDF. I don't want. Is this? Oh, this is a map. Yeah. So yeah, we got the Caribbeans right there. We got pretty much. Yep. British India, other dependencies, domain, the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland. Okay, so factually, we got things going. He was a colonist that went around stomping fools, basically trying to work through his way through the British Empire, trying to raise up the ranks, ended up in the Caribbeans, and got embraced. Once he got embraced, he basically was, not knowing who he was, not knowing what he was capable of. He ran into a very important person. Her, but not her in the sense that we know. Her twin sister, Donna Maria Aldana del Torres de Madrid. Now, you guys didn't know that, but she had a twin sister. Not a twin sister, a stepsister. That was Spanish. She's definitely not Spanish. She's Britain. Her mother was a British noble, but then was exiled and went to Spain. But that's neither here or there. But she married a Don, essentially, in Spain. And that's when Lust's sister ran into she was in charge. She was tasked with colonizing the New World, and she went basically convinced Cornelius to join up with her. And basically they went to Mexico, and they went up all the way to Mexico, where while in Mexico they met up with Divina. Now Divina is the other person we're going to talk to, but I still want to focus on Cornelius. But this is basically the other side of the coin, as it were. Divina is their New World contact. She can basically masquerade as any race. And so originally she was, from the old world, and, the Middle European, like a Byzantine, like the Carpathian Mountains, stuff like that. And then she just used her powers of vicissitude to basically infiltrate and basically expand the Sabbat's hold. But because the old world is basically completely under the Camaria's hold, her task was given to expand the influence of the New World. And so she went down with a bunch of Spanish missionaries, and that's when they were going to take all the indigenous people and turn them into basically slaves of the Sabbat. So let's continue on Cornelius. I don't know how to make a Samedi. I'm just being real. I'm being super real right now. I don't know how. So I don't know what they're like. I like to build characters at least within the somewhat of their stats, because I don't want to be like, oh, I'm going to make this character, and then it's like, oh, yeah, you can't use this power. All right, so Thanatosis. Thanatosis, disciplines exclusively developed of the Samedi bloodline, and its ties intrinsically, why can't I pronounce that word? Intrinsically to the Stiff's identity and history. Though Thanatosis appears to deal closely with the dead and the energy's decay, no Giovanni has ever claimed mastery of this power. Blah, 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 blah. All right, this stamina, dexterity, perception, manipulation. Wow, this power's like all over the place. Wow. For something that's not like, oh, this clan was only embraced, they have up to Methuselah level fucking discipline. They can go up to 8. So for a clan that's relatively new, why do they have a Methuselah level discipline? Come on, White Wolf. Get it together. Actually, this is more like Onyx Path. Shoutouts, by the way. Thank you for the retweet. Appreciate it, Onyx Path. And the last one is Dexterity. All right, so what is the set? What is their tool set? They have... Oh, come on. Why is this not working? All right, their tool set is the following. They have Fortitude. Of course, they're at Fort. Fortitude. Obfuscate. Well, duh. They need Obfuscate. Obfuscate. Ba-da-da. And their wonky discipline. Thanatosis. All right, Thanatosis. And then I think, if I remember correctly, they do have access to necromancy. But is it in clan or out of clan? I need to look at the rights of the blood book. All I see, all my sorrow. Man, that was gonna be a cool song today. Rights of Blood. They have like a whole section, or is it Lore of the Clan? Actually, I think it's in Lore of the Bloodlines. God, I have so many books open right now. Forgive me! Forgive me, I was not prepared for this. I was originally going to do Archibald and the Nosferatu, but I was like, that's not fun. I mean, I really thought about it. I thought it was going to be fun to do, but then I was like, actually, this is not fun to do. Okay, come on. PDF. Come on, computer. Don't screw up on me right now. Don't Why is my computer acting all weird? Okay, so, come on. Open up the thumbnails. Right to blood. The Independence. Giovanni Necromancy. Alright. What is... Dude, let's like... Oh, there it is. Okay, so this is all of the past. Giovanni can learn all this. They can learn Sepulchre, Ash, Bone, Call of the Hungry Dead, Eldritch Beacon, Insight, Eye of the Graves, Hand of Glory, Puppet, Den of the Dam. Oh, this is like path rituals. Okay, so this is like their paths and rituals. Harbingers, Nagaraja, Voldun. I thought there was a section where they could learn necromancy. Where's the section where they talk about they can learn necromancy? Voldun necromancy, Aztec necromancy, Eastern necromancy, expansion necromancy, Thanatosis. Thanatos' Caress, Giovanni. Okay, maybe it's in Lord of the Bloodlines. Let's check the Lord of the Bloodlines book real quick. Samedi. Darkness imprisoning me, all I say. Okay, can you stop lagging out, computer? What is my OBS freaking out? I'm dropping frames, but I think it's because my processor's starting to suck a dick. Which shouldn't be the case. Okay, Giovanni Connection. Speaker of the Crossroads. Switch of the Dead. Extinguished Corpse. Death Grip. Stitcher. When parts of your body are cut off or otherwise due to damage, make a dex medicine so that party back on. Brittle Body. Where is the... It's got to be in Rights to Blood. Where? The Unusual? I remember reading that they can learn necromancy. And where I'm confusing this with LARP again. I'm always confusing LARP with them, especially with the tabletop section. Anyways, I'm just gonna fuck it. We're just gonna give him necromancy. It's necromancy. Giovanni Western Necromancers. Everybody's being Voldun? No, that's like the voodooist. That's like this. Oh no, there it is. There it is. Chiefs among the handful of spirits of one have been satisfied by Hollywood, a name which has been adopted by the Stiffs. Baron Samedi, Giovanni. Giovanni don't know for sure what connection, if any, have been the Samedi bloodline and the Loa. However, names of Papa Zombies have appeared in recent investigation. The Giovanni believe someone who might have answers. Efforts are underway to learn. So he has basically concept of magical sympathetics is something underpins the great deal of Voldun rites. For example, well-known tools for American Voldun is a voodoo doll. Yeah, voodoo. So he is Voldun. He is Voldun. Necromancy. Voldun. So Voldun Necromancers has Bones, Sepulchre, Knowing the Stone. Two Simmets, Blood Dance, Blood Dolls. What is... Okay, so this is Incapable Beliefs. So this is what it says. The following table outlines which paths and rituals from V20 are commonly accessible to different necromancers from across the globe. This is not exclusive list prohibiting one necromancy from learning arts of another, but rather identifying of those arts commonly associated with each clan and bloodline. Okay, so you have Bone, Sepulchre. Oh, crazy. Not Ash or Call the Hungry Dead. Oh, but it says right there that it's like common. Anyway, so he's going to have necromancy. He's going to have necromancy. And it's Voldun necromancy. Because he believes it's like the lowest spirits. The spirits, man. May the spirits be with you, man. Actually, it's not going to fit. So I'm just going to type in necromancy. Ha-ha! Anywho, God, it's so boring. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. So we got necromancy. We got the kit. We got the kit now. Now that we have that out of the way. Did they talk about different... There's more rituals. Asmite cast. Darkness imprisoning me. All I say. All of my sorrow. The Damned. Sabbat Inquisition. Benefits of... Benefits of Infernalism. We'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that later. Ooh, boy. Anywho. Let's see. So, let's just go through and 753. Actually, we'll check out the other necromancy paths real quick in the core rulebook. So, let's see. Where is it? Disciplines. Necromancy. Now, necromancy, I know. So, you can have sepulcher. You can have sepulcher, cyclonic path. No, you can't have that. So, he can have, let's see, sepulcher path. I guess Ash. See, Ash is like peer into the land of the dead, even affecting things there in the path. Like he's gonna have Ash. Bone is primarily deal with corpses. Saconic path is practitioner, primarily concerned discovering or forging links between the living world and the Shadowlands, functioning primary kindred corpses. Yeah, it doesn't say anybody. Okay, this is corpse of the monster. This path is reduced. Lost clans and bloodlines, such as Cappadocians, Limia, have access to ancient disciplines known as Mortis. Some kindred scholars claim that Mortis and Necromancers are distinct disciplines, but at ease, the three Mortis paths present in this book are listed as Necromancer. Cappadocians specialize in either Corpse of the Monster or Grave of Decay, while the Lamia generally look at the Path of Four Humors as primary paths. Humors. Rumors of harbingers and the Sabbat have revealed the Corpse of the Monster and Grave of the Dead, claiming them to be the mortuous path. Negative is close to Sepulcher, primary path to learning Grave Decay and Corpse of the Monster. Why is so? I think the Path of Four Humors was like the warrior one. Philosophy, Four Humors represents different qualities split amongst two axes, heat and cold, wet and dry. Blood is hot and wet. Cold, blah, blah, blah. Acquiring primary consider knowledge of the Lemia bloodline, considering very few necromancers have learned the path. Yeah, Black Breath. Clutch of the Shroud. A character must drink and spend 5 blood from a cold corpse. It will generally take 2 turns to consume the blood. For example, the character's 12th gen. Clutch of the Shroud takes at least 7 turns to activate. After powers activated, the rest of the scene, necromancer gains benefit. First, she receives 2 additional soak dice of any sort, even if the character does not have possession of fortitude. Secondly, gains a mystical sense of how far those in the area are dead. However, finally, if manipulation code allows her to speak with ghosts freely. Instead, closer to an animated corpse. Yeah, he definitely has that. So he definitely has that path, and definitely doesn't have the virtuous path. Does that? That's exclusive to Josh. Anyways, let's continue. Shall we? So 753. Put. Oh yeah, base necromancy. What's like base What is like a base? Give me that basic bitch stuff. What is path for humors? Character whispers a target willpower roll. Character spends blood. He has to spend blood. Dark humor. Spends blood. Clutch of the Shroud. Spends blood. Dark blood. Stamina. Okay, so we're going to go 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to go 7, 5, 3. So we're going to give him manipulation. And then we're going to give 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. No. We can give him perception. No. Actually, we're going to give him wits. All right. He's not really bright, but he's very perceptive and witful. Very manipulative, charismatic, and that. Let's see. I cannot die. Oh yeah, let's look at Obfuscate real quick. Obfuscate is, let's see, Shroud, no rolls required. Manipulation, he's got that. That requires Charisma, Vanish from Mind's Eye. Wits, Courage, Cloak of the Gathering. It's just basically you can use any of your powers, so he's going to need Charisma. But Manipulation is also important as well. And then he has Thanatosis, which was like I said, it's like a mixture between all of the, like a bunch of stats. It's like, oh, look, this one requires, like I said, Dex. Second one requires perception. Third one, or fourth one, requires manipulation. Fifth one requires stamina. So, you see what I'm going from. Okay, so I'm going to make him 9th, actually. I'm going to make him 9th. Don't tell me, don't be like, what do you make him 9th for? Because I can, okay? I can. Anywho, let's see. Let's get the rulebook open. 13. So we're going to give him, like, Brawl 2. What was Obfuscate? What was those primary? Obfuscate, powers, Unseen Presence, Stealth, both stealths and skills, Mask of 1,000s, and really? Huh. I didn't know it actually required stealth. Let's see. Thanatosis. First one requires subterfuge. Purification. Oh. Dex medicine. He's going to need medicine. Ash. Awareness. Withering. Requires medicine. So 2 for medicine. Dex medicine. 3. Okay. So let's take a look at some necromancy. The base necromancy stuff that he would need. So Witness the Dead is awareness. So he would definitely have awareness. Summoning, occult, compel would be, where is it at? Occult, haunting is occult, torment, empathy. Oh, okay. Shroud Sight, awareness, lifeless tongue, occult, dead hand, occult, El Negro, Nahilo, choirs, occult, shroud. Shroud Mastery requires nothing. It's a bunch of willpower expenditure. Bone is going to be cool. Occult, willpower, and okay, nope. Occult, a bunch of blood. Occult. Corpse of the Monster. What's Corpse of the Monster do? Shape. Another vampire. Spend the blood. Mask lose 2 points of dexterity and appearance. And appearance -1. Appearance and -1. And 0. Okay, what does this say? Okay. Masquerade Dead. The player spends 1 blood point and the character gains a form described. All those affected characters' ability, the visage of dead, afflicted shape another vampire. The victim becomes pale and thin, skin pulled tight. Oh, it's like the corpse. Cold of Grave, spend 1 willpower point. Curse of Life. May spend 1 power roll, light no further to 20 yards. Badly distracted. Okay. He does not become immune to sunlight or holy artifacts. Instead, however, badly distracted. Gift of the Corpse. Spends willpower roll. For every successive character can spend 1 turn in a state which he's animates and a corpse, then a vampire. Immune to frenzy. Fire harms and only if it's mortal, causing lethal instead of aggravated. Okay, so that's Gift of the Corpse. Gift of Life. The Gift of Light character spends 12 blood points, burning as much pot blood each turn until she meets the level. Then she rolls Stamina Cult. Botching has a catastrophic effect. Character might be instantaneously killed or might inadvertently embrace her victim. For example, if it takes longer than 1 turn to spend necessary blood to an activity, it does not take effect until all 12 points have been spent. However, the blood. Okay, after. On the other hand, she may be feeding in 1 turn, since a few kindred above 7th generation can expend the amount of blood. The effect may activate, have human nearby who can sacrifice to the power of transformation. After transformation, she gains many traits of ordinary human. She is largely immune to scoring effects of the sun. 2 difficulties to soak from direct sunlight are halved, and she takes no damage. Is if she is covered, and can experience and enjoys many fine things about human life. She retains a few of the vampiric abilities, however, fortitude, aspect abilities, main place, and storyteller might allow her to retain other disciplines as well. However, she's still vulnerable to holy effects, human faith, and being staked. Her blood remains vitae, not human blood, which creates a mockery of human life. May interfere with characters' past advancement at the storyteller's discretion. Vampires are no more vulnerable to fire than other mortals. While in this half is no more vulnerable to fire, but still suffers from the beast. Frenzy and rock check difficulties are half. Her beast exact dangerous rehabilitation when her day of life is gone, although the influence is greatly suppressed during the power duration. The beast has affect the vampire the next. The beast has a ways with the vampire for the next 6 nights. All difficulties is frenzy increased by 3. That sucks. Okay. Okay, so it doesn't need Graves Decay. That's basically Thanos and 4 humors. Okay, so I know what pass the necromancy is gonna have now. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch! Give me a drink! Okay. Let's see. What am I going to do now? Oh, yeah, we should probably continue with the storyteller section. Of course, Michael, of course. Okay, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13? Yeah, 1, 2. Oh, you know what? Athletics. Needs some athletics. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Actually, we'll give more athletics than brawling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. So 13, 9. We're going to give 5 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, so he has occult at 3. He has medicine at 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, that's it. That's all he really needs. Let's see. 4 dots. So he's gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4. He has 1 in all that. And then he has no backgrounds. He is on path of Lilith. Ugh, if I can spell Lilith right. Morality. Path of Lilith. Path of Lilith. Alright, so he has... I need to fix that. I actually need to ask somebody at roll 20 to fix that. So he has no dots in that. So he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 virtues. There we go. So he has path rating of 4. And he has starting willpower is 3. So then we go on to... Okay, so the first path he's going to learn... or at least the one he was taught in necromancy, is Sepulcher. Sepulcher path. So copy that. So he has Sepulcher. Alright. And then let's see here. Now we're going to give him some freebie points. So... Oh, yeah, we got to go to merits and flaws real quick. Okay, let me kill that real quick. Which book is it? Lord of Bloodlines, Samedi. What is their cool? Do they have... Okay, so they have Death Grip. Thanks to your connection, Death, you have been insight few possession with this contract with the dead body. You have made wits on success. You intuitively know how the body died. On failure, you suffer a illusory vision of which saps a willpower point. On a botch, your body mirrors the wound. Okay, never mind. That's not great. Stitcher. That's if succeed, costs 1 healing point. Brittle body. No, he doesn't need brittle body. Okay. Well, that's it for that. They don't have anything cool. He can, however, take this merit, which is super good. I recommend all necromancers get this merit. It cost him 4. Actually, I should go like this. Copy. Cost him 4 merit points because of the trades cost 4 for characters already who already have appearance 0, such as Samedi and Harbingers of Skull. Basically, he gets +2 or reduces all difficulty to necromancy. Like, he was basically a toon. You got embraced using the Ferryman Recall ritual, which he does have. Retains scars of every experience. Nature's damage. It may decrease, however, gives you all difficulty are reduced by 2. Yeah, it's basically just like, oh, you got reduced by 2. May not also possess. Okay, so I had to remind myself. What is this? Computerized D&D? No, it's basically kind of it's a little bit like computerized D&D. This is a roleplay show that I do every week. I'm going through explaining the NPCs, doing character creation, essentially just doing stuff that doesn't foreshadow or doesn't take the spotlight of the players. A little bit of backstory of each character, a little bit of character creation, so I can show you guys like their base character creation stuff. And then I add in a bunch of dots later on to kind of spice up the difficulty of them, which I might be doing right now because I actually know the total amount of XP everybody has. But I'm going through, checking, talking about each and every single characters and their background. We're working currently right now on Cornelius. And Cornelius, like I said, he's a mercenary, ran into Divina, ran into Lust's stepsister, and they make their way all the way up to California following the missions of the what's his name? The Santa Barbara mission. What's it called? It was what is his name? Franciscan. Yeah, they're a group. The Franciscans were a group of Catholic Spaniards who basically went up the coast of California and established all the missions that we know in California. The San Ynez Mountains. Yeah. The Spanish missions in the California of the Catholic Church. San Juan Capistrano, which is down, where's that down in? San Juan Capistrano. Yeah, it's in like San Diego County, San Juan. Yeah, so basically the mission period, they followed them. The Sabbat, heavily influenced by the Catholic Church, basically had their holdings in the Catholic Church. The La Sombra particularly had their grips on their foothold on their base. So the Sabbat used the missions as a way to infiltrate into the New World so that they can cultivate power, so that when and if the old worlders of the Camarilla decide to come into the New World, the Sabbat have already claimed territory. They've already established their power structure, and it'd be like an old versus old war on 2 land fronts. How many players? Currently, we have 3 players. One of our other players is currently, he's not MIA, but he's on hiatus because he has like college stuff he's doing right now. And so he is essentially taking a kind of a break until he comes back. And then, yeah, that's kind of the outlook right now that we're doing. We have 3 great players, LateNightRivithead, Lauralania, and Psibound. Previously, we had Evan. It's a really great show. You should go check it out. YouTube.com/outofordershow, or you could just check out the VODs here on Twitch. I would highly recommend going on YouTube, though, because I put a lot of time uploading those videos with the YouTube quality sense stuff. So go check it out. Also, if you want to check out all the post-show wrap-ups, we have the patreon.com/outofordershow, where you, audience, can become part of a roleplay experience. I have every post-show up to episode 13. I've uploaded all the downtime scenes that has currently been recorded. I plan on doing more downtime scenes. And this whole thing used to be a Patreon exclusive, but then I decided, you know what, I'm going to make this free content so that you guys can experience the inner workings of my mind as I am going through and explaining all this nonsense. So, back to character creation. So we have 15 freebie points. We're going to get some merits and flaws real quick. Let's see. Definitely can't take disfigured because he has appearance 0. Let's see. I'm not going to... You know what? I am going to give him that. He is addicted. He's addicted to love. Don't. So he has 3 more points for that. And then to want to give him... You have a stereotype and legend. You get -1 difficulty intimidation rolls while dealing with mortals. However, the trade-off is you may constantly disguise your condition. No contacts don't cut it. Glowing impairs your vision. Put +1 difficult all sight-based rolls. And your eye sockets make it difficult to hide. Nope. He needs the ability to hide still. You know what? We're going to give him... Because why not? We're going to give him permanent fangs. He can't retract them. Those fangs. Why would you? Addicted to love. You know what? Is that a flaw? Can that flaw be taken? Can a Samedi have smell of the grave? Weakness. As mentioned, a putrid beyond words. Smitty characters have appearance of rating 0. Automatically fair appearance rolls. It says that the Samedi resembling a rotting corpse. Sadly, in no way an euphemism. Their flesh is soft and tend to leak fluid if poked too hard. Their ears and nose rot away, but basically still function normal. Tiny bits of their skin tend to slaw off and regrow. Skin retracts from the eyes and teeth, giving them the appearance of a grinning skull, but too much meat clinging to certain to them actively clean horror. The harbinger skulls, some Smitty, are leathery and dry, like unwrapped mummies. These still stink, but their stench is more resembling of rotting flowers and old decay than fresh pubescence. Okay, so I can't give him smell of the grave because he's already a rotting corpse. Got it. What else can I give him then? No, I don't want to give him disease carrier. I only need like a 1-point flaw. I need to just round it out. Prey exclusion, no. Shine, no. Soft-hearted, definitely not. Doesn't have a speech impediment. He has an accent, though. He is South African, but I can't really... I myself can't imitate that accent. It's really hard for me. Mistaken identity. Infamous sire. I mean, definitely has an infamous sire. Your sire dislikes you and wish you ill. Given a small opportunity, will seek to you harm. Nah. Expendable. Nah. Let's see. Trying to find a 1-point flaw that would definitely like just kind of fuck it. This is definitely, he's already got permanent fangs. He's already a Lilin. Might as well. Touch of Frost. That's a 1 point. It's a 1 point flaw. So good on me. Figured it all out. I kind of miss doing D&D stuff. You know what, man? It's so easy. Like, you can go to roll20.net. I highly recommend it. The site has given me ample opportunity to run these games, and they're constantly you can go into their looking for group and join a random D&D group. Just create an account, sign in. You can type in whatever game you want to play in. Like, I've done pub groups before. I played in pub, like, pickup groups where it was like 1 session long. I've never really had experience with like long-term games that are randos, but maybe you might have better luck than I do. I expect a certain quality of style of game. That's why I lean towards more story-based games such as White Wolf or L5R or anything outside the realm of D&D, because at the end of the day, I feel like D&D is what it is. It's a dungeon crawler. It's not necessarily where you can... There are good stories. There's great content on the site. I highly recommend checking out the Twitch directory for D&D. There's tons of stuff. But for me, personally, I find it that the best exploration of story are found in different games rather than Dungeons and Dragons. But that's just me. I'm not trying to say I'm an elitist. I'm just saying that's just my preference. Anywho, let's see. Well, let's give him like a cool merit. I already gave him that. That gives him reduced difficulties. Is there... Okay, there's no... Is there a Lilin merit that I am not aware of? By the way, the Lilith merits are in... That's Thaumaturgy. Nope. Okay. So, no, Lilins don't have... They have a Necromancy that he's going to have, which I probably should put down. So, he has this path. I'll put that right here. Path of Nightshade. So, that's 7... So let's see. Let's break it down again. Calculators. So 15 plus 7 equals 20. Well, 15 plus... Yeah, 22. Whoa, wait, what? Have I been doing this wrong my whole life? That was 21. It's 22? It would be 22. 15 plus 7 is 22. Why did I always think of 21? Dude, I'm having a moment here. Alright, so he has Path of Nightshade, which that's what he needed. He has 11 merit points left. I'm going to bump up his willpower by 2. So that's minus 2. And... let's see. We're going to go with... We're going to... Actually, we'll just get another dot. We're going to give him another dot necromancy. Actually, it's going to be that. And then... Screw it. We'll just minus another 7. Another dot necromancy. So he has 3 dots of necromancy. And then... 2 points we'll put into... What can I raise a virtue? How much does it cost to raise a virtue? Virtue, 2 points. So I'm going to put that in instinct. All right. So this is if I were to play Cornelius as a basic bitch character. Basic as basic, right? Basic. This would be him. This would be his character. So, fanatic, visionary. He's a Lilin. And this is what happened. Cornelius goes through his transformation. He has no idea what he is, what he's like. He thinks he's like an abomination. He doesn't really understand that he's turned vampire. He's under the impression that like he's something far worse. But then he meets up with the Sabbat. The Sabbat kind of are like, hey, no, you're a vampire. We don't know what you are. We don't know what clan you are. You're something new, but, come with us. We'll help you discover yourself, will help you reach your identity. Now, here's the thing. Let's talk about Divina. Divina is the other side of the coin. Cornelius is a follower. Cornelius is, he's not a believer, but he gets turned into a believer because Divina is the one who is in charge. She is the one that's like, I have seen a vision. My connection to the mother has granted me insight, and that insight is propagated by, I will find this great bounty. I will find this great valley full of power that will empower the Sabbat, and we will take this power and we will destroy our enemies of the Camarilla and free ourselves from the chains of the antediluvians, and we will take their power and we will sack their cities, and we will build upon the ruins of their cities a new city like the second city and the first city before, where Cain sat at the throne, where mankind was at our beck and call. Like, she is that. She is the true believer of that. And she is secretly the Lilin. She is the Lilin of the group. She's always been a witch. She's always been a rebeller against the standards of reality and of people and of men. And she loves it. She loves that she's like basically this a thorn in society's side. Variations. Where is it old Clan Simis? Darkness imprisoning me. All I say, all my sorrow, I want to say, I don't want to die. Tremere, Simis. Koldun are the oldest sorcerers among the kindred, at least claim to be. Their magic is ancient, to be sure. Their magic does not depend on formulas of lifeless category rotes. Rather, it draws from the power of the unless likely source, the living earth. Koldun sorcery excels and manipulates the natural element. It subsides and grants ways, path following, no other direction. Many of the rituals built on the spirituality and vitality through the lost vampires, Koldun, then the Simis wizards, who are tuned with the land around them in frightening degree. The Koldun aren't practitioners, are protectors of land, though at least not in the way the phrase usually implies. They use the land, drinking its energies, reshaping it into weapons. They protect the land because it is theirs, and therefore they display the same territoryism for which the Simis in general are so widely known. For many years, Koldun sorcery was the province of a few very powerful Simis elders. Almost all old clans see below in recent nights, though the knowledge of the magic has filtered down to the clan's ranks, even neonates may have learned it. It's a huge departure from previous practices. It remains to be seen what effect Koldun has had on the world at large. So this is what it says. Kolduns aren't truly a bloodline. Rather, Koldunism is a practice which is in the Simis, where the vampire learns Koldun sorcery out of clan costs. Koldun discipline, therefore, are aspects animalism either dominate or vicissitude, depending on what the Koldun is, old clan or Simis or not. Weakness. Rather than the clan, the Koldun must rest in approximately at least 2 handfuls of native soil. Failure to meet the requirements of the Koldun pool every 24 hours until the pool falls. Pool falls, 1 down, die. Yeah, so not old clan. She's definitely new. She loves, but she's a practitioner, so she's a Simis Koldun. So she's Simis. She's not old clan Simis. The old clan is not with her. She's definitely shaped by the body and the mind and the torturing. Divina, her nature, like I said before, she's pretty much has always been an outsider. She's always been somebody who has, like, takes the norm and kind of, like, shakes it up. She's definitely a rebel at heart. She doesn't like follow rules. That's why she follows Sabbat. But even within the Sabbat, she's definitely like, yeah, this is not really what I envision the Sabbat being. I don't want this to be Camarilla 2.0. Like, we want to not necessarily in the world. Hold on. Thank you. Why were you out of focus, camera? Come on. Not necessarily ending the world, but in a sense, creating a world where people are truly free. All right. So we're going to make Divina. Now, Divina hooks up with the Sabbat. Probably one of the first Sabbat to... Not the first Sabbat. She's not that old. But definitely her family and her lineage were basically just like, we want to propagate more power. We want to get more power. Power. And she was like, I don't necessarily believe in power. I believe in freedom more than power. And that doesn't turn off her clan as much as it's like they go, but they're the same thing. Power and freedom are hand in hand. She's like, no. Power comes from the ability to control. If you relinquish control, if you have the knowledge, that frees you. That doesn't necessarily... If you are smarter than the system, then the system has no hold on you. And you don't need the system anymore. The power that you are given by the system no longer applies to you. You are the will. You are the force to be reckoned with. And everybody has to obey your will and your power. Like, you are the pinnacle of it. And so she acts like a pillar. Like somebody who is like, not just like, not like a leader, but someone who's like exemplary. Somebody who's like, I am the epitome. I am the ultimate embodiment of like what it means to be Sabbat at its truest form. So she is definitely probably an architect. She's definitely like, I know myself. I built myself up to be this way, and like, this is who I am, and this is like what I am showing. I am displaying my beliefs and my power and I'm not holding anything back. I am an open book. There's no secrets with me. It is just me. I'm gonna make her probably the same night. Okay, so I need like a quick review. Like a quick review of the Samis, because vicissitude requires body crafting. Vampires who wish to use a specific knowledge of medicine known as body crafting. This specialization enables to make all matters alteration. Okay, so it's specialization now. So it's medicine, bone crafting is medicine, horde form requires nothing, blood form requires nothing. So, but it's basically all medicine. Animalism, I think it's just like animal kin and empathy. Feral whispers doesn't require anything. Survival, beckoning survival. Quelled to beasts is intimidation, manipulation. And manipulation, draw out the beast is manipulation? No. Roll. Okay. That's a weird word. Announce the preferred target. Since it must be someone what's inside, drawing out the beast cannot be used if the vampire is alone. What? Interesting. I didn't know that. All right. So let's see here. Let's see. So we're gonna go 7. Actually, what is cold done? I need to look at cold done real quick. Cold done. Cold done sorcery. Does it require willpower? No, it's attribute plus a cold. Oh yeah, that's what makes it so special. All the cold done stuff is an attribute. So like, yeah, way of the earth is earth. Way of the wind is perception. Way of water is wits. Way of fire is manipulation. And then there's like another one in the... Is it in the Bloodline book? No, it's not in the Bloodline. It's in the Clan book. Samis, I think it's like Way of Sorrow? Or is it in the Rites book? Probably in the Rites book, now that I think about it. Eye of the Schlachter. Ooh, Fleshbound. Birth of Volzoid. Let's see. Revenant Discipline. Ooh, I forgot they can be a Revenant Discipline. Instead of the standard, you can take a family, although you may buy a discipline within the freebie as normal. You may trade the entire clan discipline set for the clan Revenant. Promethean Clay. Oh yeah, that's like your flesh is like all weird. Haven Affinity, no thank you. Pain Tolerance. Bioluminescence. Why would you want to be bioluminescence? A soft glow? No. So I think it's in the rights book. Pretty sure it's in the right books. The Sword of Cain. Let's see. Is it in here? Ignoblius. Oh, it's not in here. Where is it at? Where's the new... There's like the right... Necromantic Ritual. The Damned. Definitely not there. Spirit Manipulation. More rights. Rights. There it is. Way of Spirits. Way of Spirits, Way of Sorrow. Got it. And wait, Way of Sorrow. While parts of the broadcast are called a Masquerade path, does not overly rely on the connection to cupola, rather invokes a number of curses, the name of Christian Slavic deities. Then again, some Semi scholars speculate that some of these deities are themselves mere aspects of being which call themselves cupola. Cupola being. What is the trait? They cannot be generated. What is the in response? Must immediately make. In response to insult, the character must immediately make a self-control or risk frenzy. But what is the primary trait? Oh, right here. As noted, Rites of Blood represents for storytellers Cold Path is now a willpower roll equal to difficulty. Okay, so this is they fixed it. Okay. As noted previously, Rites of Blood represents an effort to simplify and unify various schools of passive blood magic for storytellers. This preferred method, the roll activate cold and sorcery, is now willpower, so it's all willpower based now. 3+ path rating, which such rolls are also required to expenditure 1 blood point. The roll is activated a Colden ritual is intelligence occult. In additional, the default assumption is Colden sorcery is almost universal among old clan Semis, fairly common among Sabbat Semis, and nearly unheard of amongst all other clans. The school's methodology connects cupola to the land, permitted by the spirits, increases difficulty by 1 to all Kondo sorcerer rolls made on behalf of Colden who work their magic outside of territories of Eastern Europe. Ooh, I did not know that now. Okay, so we're going to need a lot of willpower because all difficulties just shut up. Shut up. Great. Thanks, Onyx Path. You're welcome. They're like, you're welcome. All right, so let's see. Definitely put 3 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Let's see. So now we got to go to talents. Let's see. We're gonna go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, I need to look at Auspex. Auspex is pretty much like if you have Auspex, it pretty much rolls for you because all Aspects rolls are reduced by perception-based challenges. Darkness imprisoning me. Oh, I see. Auras, color changes, sympathetic. Perception, empathy. Spirit touch, perception, empathy. Telepathy is subterfuge. Okay, so I need a bunch of empathy. And then everything else was the Feral Whispers was like what? No roll. Beckon is charisma, survival, intimidation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I cannot see. I cannot follow. Animal can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's see. Sorry about the awkward silence. I'm just trying to imagine something right now. I think I'm going to give her one more for athletics. Yeah. So 13, 9, 5. We're going to give her 5 here. So we're going to give her 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. No. 5. Yep. And then let's see. For this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 8, 9. That's goddamn. Well, we know now who taught each other what. As far as the knowledge bases, I mean, they're exactly the same. Both Cornelius and Divina at character creation, for that matter. Oh yeah, I forgot their kit. Let's see. She's on the path of Lilith. So let's get this out of the way. Lilith. All right. Disciplines. She has the following. Do-do-do-do. Ba 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 da 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 da. La 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 la. All right. She has aspects. She has animalism. Actually, I might look up ghoul stuff. Maybe she's part of a revenant family. She did foster the Bradoviches. She could be Bradovich. I could make her Bradovich. They're like kind of the oldest families. And then Koldun sorcery, which is do 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 do. Ba la 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 la. I have that song stuck in my head for some reason. I don't understand why that song stuck in my head. Anyways, let's see. So we're gonna get 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So she's a path rating 3. Her willpower is 4. Okay, so now we look at merits and flaws. Actually, I'm gonna look at the Bloodline book real quick, or the Ghoul book. Maybe she might have been a Bradovich. I'm just gonna check real quick. Ghouls and Revenants. All these books open right now. Let's see. Let's see. Ghouls. Blood bonds. Ghouls. Breaking bonds. Aging. Withdrawals. Path of Enlightenment. Clan organizations. Anarch movement. No, these are just talking about ghouls in the clan. Remnants and the family. Yeehaw! Alright. So we have the Bradovich, where the penniless depravities are somewhat enigmatical. Long ago, these revenants were once considered noble, and their warrior fought on behalf of the Siamese clans in numerous conflicts. While Bradovich hunters and soldiers fought with their master's side, their family were arrested and performed in dark arts and died in prison. Their numerous dwellings, surviving numbers, and the once proud Bradovich family are forged into scrapes, begging for food near rural villages. Soon after the Convention of Thorns, whether by design or by necessity, the Bradovich family could no longer be found training in the vast estates which had since been destroyed or repossessed by their rivals. For some time, the Bradfitch faded into distant memories. Many of their rivals believed they were extinct or had found the fiends, two parts unknown, which the Grimaldi, Uberus, and Xanatosa families to serve as newfound Sabbat. Let's see. Ancient family of revenants, so the first city. Ooh. The Daihabi served the Nergal. I think they're while the Samis clan began experimenting with Koldun sorcery. Huh. So what do these guys do? Oh, so yeah, they're demon revenants. Dusky, filled with stories of betrayal, intrigue, and loss. The roots of revenants can be traced back to the height of the clan Samis' power. Okay. Let's see. Aspects dominate thaumaturgy. No way. As a result... Okay, so do they serve the clan Tremere then? Oh yeah, I think they serve clan Tremere. Yeah, these revenants are the ones that serve clan Tremere. Yeah, they defected. Okay. The Vine Slayers, the Grimaldi, the Brotherhood. I think she would probably be a Xanatosa. Reclusive Scholar. Ooh. Aspects obfuscate vicissitude. Oberus revenants who display signs of the Navarro bloodline should swap obfuscate for dominate. Okay. This is the focus. This is that's the Giovanni's Revenant. This is the Venture Revenant. Xanatosa. Yeah, they have presence. Change. Suppose pleasures must be make a willpower roll. You know what? Maybe. I'm gonna think on that. We're gonna table that for now. We'll table it for now. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna table it for now. Because Bradfitch would definitely fit, but also Xanatosa would fit too. I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. Anyways, let's get back to it, because we're almost at a 2-hour mark, and I don't want these storyteller sections to be as long as they are. So basically we're at 15 freebies. Let's look at some flaws. We're going to look at some flaws, and then we're going to talk about like each, what her whole goal. So she was basically, by the power of Cupola and the training that she has undergone, she was given this idea of like Cupola's connection to the world, and that connection, there was another connection out there, and she needed to find it and bring it to the Sabbat, so the Sabbat could use it like the Samis clan uses Cupola to gain more power and to basically, use it as a weapon against the ancients. So they used to have the merit. Oracular ability, that's what it is. That's what she has. She can see signs and omens. She's definitely a soothsayer. She definitely saw the signs. She's like, I see the signs. I must go to this golden valley. This valley that is dredged in shadow and darkness. But once the shadow and darkness is lifted, there is a golden valley. And the wet and the blood and the tears will dry up, and then there will be the glorious power that I will bring back, and I will restore power to the Sabbat, and then they will see me for what I truly am, and I will no longer be shunned for being a Lilin. They will represent the best in all of us, and we will all come together and destroying the ancients and be one with Cain, because Cain would not be here if it weren't for Lilith. Through pain and suffering, and through wisdom, and through sacrifice, I will be victorious. And that's what her whole thing is that she is also like, she's not as a visionary. She's not about the fate. She's like the embodiment. She's like a pillar. She's like not even militant. It's like true embodiment. It's like empowering herself. She's like, I have got this gift. I have, not only do I see into the future and I can read omens and signs, but I have been blessed by Cupola to understand her ways and to call upon the forces, the ways, the Koldun. Like, I am just not a random pawn in the great jihad. Like, I am a figure. I am a force to be reckoned with. And I demand respect, because I will not be but shadows and dust. My name will live on forever, like Cain, like Lilith, like the antediluvians. We may not know their names entirely, but her name shall be forever. Divina. Anyways, and that's not her real name, but that's the name she is like, that is like her true calling, like her true name, that she was like, this is me. All right, so we got 15 freebies. Oh, we gotta look at flaws. Let's take a look at some flaws real quick. Let's take out the clan flaws real quick. Perhaps you're strict. You must make willpower to enter another being's dwelling without being invited. No. Revenant weakness. I think I'm going to take that. I'm going to take the Revenant weakness. I think she's going to have the Revenant weakness as well. I will not die. But I'm going to say no. Consumption. No, thank you. What about normal flaws? What's some normal flaws she could take? Let's go look at the, she's short. Might as well. She's a short little gal. She's a tiny little gal. She's super tiny. Um, she's not monstrous, doesn't have permanent fangs, she doesn't deformity. She's not a disease carrier, not deaf, not mute, not thin-blooded. Fertile Vitae? No. Maybe. Actually, we'll see. That might be. I mean, that would kind of fit her. No, but then she couldn't embrace what's-his-face. That's a continuity error. She couldn't embrace Dustin at that point then. Yeah, let's give her some lunacy. Tied to the moon. Since her Earth. So that's what? 5, 6. So she can have like a 1-point flaw. Or she doesn't need a 1-point flaw. Special responsibility. No. Sire resentment. No. I mean, technically, but that's not. I don't consider that to be like, that's like part of a story aspect rather than like actual. Let's go Cold Breeze. All right. So she has those flaws. right. So, Revenant weakness, short, lunacy, cold breeze. She has oracular abilities, so that's 15. 15 plus 7 is 22. 22 minus 3 is 19. Minus 21 equals, oh wait, plus 19 equals, wait, clear. All right, 22 minus 3 equals 19 minus 14 equals. So she has those 2 dots, and then she has 5 points left. So we're going to spend 2 minus 2 for that, and then everything's willpower based, so she will spend... Actually, how much does it cost to raise a path rating? Because she needs a higher path rating. Definitely going to need a higher path rating than what she has currently. 2 dots per. Okay, 2 dots per. So minus 2 equals 1. So she has a path rating 4. Sadly. And then she'll raise another willpower. So this is like her base stats. Right here. So if Divina and Cornelius were made today, this would be their character. Oh yeah, and then fuck it, I forgot. Never mind. 1 willpower gone. And actually, this is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm gonna do right here. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So her path rating with 4, 3. Let's go back to character creation real quick. So she had 22. 22 minus 14 equals 8. 22 minus 3 equals minus 14 equals 5. And then I'm going to give her the Revenant discipline merits. I just need to figure out what Revenant she is, or what type of Revenant she is. So I'll figure that out later. All right, and then she has a Revenant weakness. So what? That's minus 3. And then 2. 1, 2. There. All right. So that's it. So all I changed was I took a dot away from courage and I put it into conviction, which upped her path rating. I got her willpower the same, but I was able to get the Revenant discipline. She has a Revenant weakness, as well as top of her normal weakness. But anyways, so these two, Cornelius, they stumble upon a very interesting thing, which I will talk about next week. And that is they run into a tribe that is in cahoots with a kindred. And it's not a gangrel. I think you guys already know. It's Lasombra. There's a Lasombra bloodline or some sort of Lasombra influence, Abyss influence in Kern County. Evan was slowly discovering it, but Donna Maria, Divina, and Cornelius stumble upon these natives who are worshiping, not even worship, it's like kind of like a partnership with these other vampires. The natives and the people, they work hand in hand together. They offered their blood, freely, and the two vampires, they are not, or the handful of vampires that are living among them. So if it's like a small tribe of like, I don't know, 80 people or so, there's probably amongst them like 5 or 6 vampires, which is a lot, but that's because it's like a hierarchy. It's like these 6 are like they were the chosen to get the dark gift of the shadows, and that they are like the guardians of the tribe to make sure that nobody else any enemies of them, they're sworn to protect the tribe. And Divina and Cornelius and Donna Maria, especially Donna Maria, since she is a Somber, she's intrigued, she's entranced by them, because it's like, oh my god, the Sombers reach the abyss, comes all the way out here to Kern County, or before Kern County, this like swampland where all these natives are, and they're like calling upon the abyss, and they're doing all these things that I've never seen. Like, I'm intrigued. And she starts, using the Spanish missionaries to kind of course the local tribes that are associated with the area to kind of go after this recluse tribe of nomads that live in the Tehachapi Mountains in Kern Valley, who are like working in tandem with these vampires. And she learns little by little that, like, they want nothing to do with the outside world. And Divina is like, no, like, they're like the key to all this. And there's a lot of tragedy, there's a lot of turmoil, and that's what we're going to talk about soon. Not sure about next week because I don't want to spoil it. But then we're going to talk about this fellow right here. This tragedy of a Canaanite, Halatalkin. We're going to find out what his origin is at some point, and why his ties to the Lillans, to the Bahari, to Cornelius, Divina, like, why all that matters. So, I'm going to call it there. A little bit longer than I wanted because I had to make 2 characters. I'm going to be adding dots to their stats, but this is like their base stats. This is what I usually do when we do these sort of breakdowns. Like, I give them the architect, I give the nature, demeanor, their generation, just so you guys have like a base idea of what their skeleton is. And then I just start adding dots all willy-nilly, like doot, like that. I just start adding dots, stuff that's appropriate. I'm not trying to be like, hey, check it out, bam. No, she does not have vicissitude 8. She wishes she had vicissitude 8. No, she has vicissitude 5. But she's gonna have more. She's gonna have other things too. She might not even have animalism. I might as well just like delete animalism because she's gonna have something else there. She might have presence. She might have potence. Probably, I'm leaning towards more Xanatosa, because they are kind of vain, they are kind of like hedonistic, and she's definitely like, even though she's an architect and a pillar, she definitely likes to be like oh, look at me, I'm so pretty, so very pretty indeed. Like, that's who she is. So, with all that, thank you guys so much for hanging out. If you are watching on YouTube, thank you so much for listening. Be sure to check down the descriptions down below for the Patreon link. If you're watching on Twitch, go to patreon.com/outofordershow, where you could become part of a roleplay experience. We have tons of post-show wrap-ups for each episode. I have all the episodes up to episode 13 on the YouTubes right now. There are some Storyteller sections that are non-YouTube, so you might want to check out the VOD. I don't hide my VODs behind a paywall. So go check it out, twitch.com/outofordershow. And yeah, be sure to check me out at ContinuePara. All my info's down below as well. Come subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it amongst the White Wolf fandom out there. I hope you guys judge me harshly if I'm doing it right, or if you think I'm just a megalomaniac storyteller who thinks I'm so great and grandiose at everything. And I wanted to talk more about the Bahari and the Lillans. I know I did that whole passage, but I can spend like a whole hour just talking about Lilin and Lilith and Bahari and like my dealings with them and making characters based on them. Oh, so good. If I could play in a game where it wasn't restricting, if I could play a Sabbat game again, I would play a Lilin in a heartbeat. Like that. So, with all that said, thank you so much for hanging out. I will see you guys around. Be sure to come back when we do this sort of crazy stuff. The shows are every Saturday at 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. This week we couldn't do it, though. So either way, take care. Have a good one. And like always, be good to one another. Peace.